This is this horrible thing, the SAVE Act, one of the worst, most anti-election democracy things that's ever been proposed. They say it's all about ID, voter ID. It's not.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So what we have here today is a renewed push to get the Save America Act passed, the same act that will require voter ID and to show proof of citizenship. And President Trump is now demanding that the Save America Act be attached to FISA, which is a bill that's going through the Senate right now. And Democrats are coming out full panicking because there's a renewed push to get this bill passed. And we still have rhinos like Senator John Thune, who is the leader in the Senate, refusing to take the necessary steps to get this bill passed. But let us get into it by starting with this video of President Trump speaking on exactly what he's trying to do with this bill with FISA. Play clip.
By the Democrats, and they said they were going to approve FISA. And I said, but we want FISA approved, but we want the Save America Act approved. Voter ID, proof of citizenship, no mail-in ballots, with exceptions, like for the military, you're sick, you're traveling, disabled. Very, open and generous. We also want no men playing in women's sports, and we want no transgender mutilization of our children. None. Those are 5 things that are 99% that's all we want. It's not a lot. The Save America Act. And that can be passed any way they want to pass it, but I'm not going to sign FISA unless it's done.
That was President Trump putting his foot down, demanding that the Save America Act be attached to FISA. And if you don't know what FISA is, it's basically this important legislation that's up for renewal in the Senate. And what it does, it basically requires or not require the U.S. intelligence agencies, when they're spying on people outside the United States, to get a warrant. So they don't have to get a warrant in order to spy on communications of individuals that they deem a national security risk outside the United States. But there are reports suggesting that the program has been abused over the years, where they're using that in order to spy on Americans. But President Trump is saying he's not going to sign that renewal once Congress passes that renewal, unless the Save America Act is attached to this bill. And here we have Vice President J.D. Vance was asked about this because Senator John Thune, the rhino, the Senate Majority Leader in the Senate, he was asked about President Trump's demand in regards to the Save America Act and FISA, and he said somewhat along the lines where it was impossible, that they have tried with the Save America Act and he doesn't know if he's going to be able to do it. And Vice President J.D. Vance was asked about this at the White House, and this is what he had to say. Play clip.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Leader Thune said it's unrealistic to get the Save America Act passed by attaching it to FISA, which is what the president's looking for. Do you believe this is possible?
Well, why don't we try? Why don't we try and at least force people to vote against it? One of the things that sometimes frustrates me about the legislative process is that people will go into it saying, this isn't possible, therefore we're not even going to try. Well, let's actually see. Let's try it. And if it's not possible, then let the people put their name on it. This is also good for the American people. How many American senators know that the American people love the Save America Act because they believe in voter ID? But how many of those same senators don't want to vote for it because they know that the radical elements within their own party would punish them for it? Let people go on the record and actually answer to the American people, which is why I think we should do exactly as the president said.
That was Vice President J.D. Vance being asked about the Save America Act being attached to FISA, and I agree with him, because one thing we have to remember is that the Save America Act is largely popular with the American people. We're talking about 80 to 90% support. And if Republicans and Democrats cannot pass a bill that has 80 to 90% support from the American people, why are they in office? Why are they getting paid? That is the question. And now let us take a look at how the Democrats are reacting. Here we have Chuck Schumer going on MSN Now to peddle lies, because remember, this bill is largely popular with the American people. And this is Chuck Schumer straight up lying, having a meltdown on MSN Now. Play clip.
This is this horrible thing, the SAVE Act, one of the worst, most anti-election democracy things that's ever been proposed. They say it's all about ID, voter ID. It's not. They will remove 25 million people off the rolls. Why? because they'll require, under this act, which is not going to pass, and we're not going to let it pass. We've defeated in court. I was a lead plaintiff in the decision to do that. We've refused to give them the votes that they would want for this.
That was the Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, the leader for the Democrats in the Senate, going on live television, falsely claiming that the Save America Act will remove over 25 million folks from the voter rolls. And I don't think he's talking about Americans, because Americans will not be removed from the voter rolls. Only people that will be affected are illegal immigrants or people that are non-citizens. Because what the Save America Act will do, it will require proof of citizenship and to essentially show an ID in order to vote. So Chuck Schumer is straight up lying. And here we have another Democrat being asked about the Save America Act, and they proceeded to essentially peddle false information. And this is Senator Padilla from out of California. Play clip.
You said it at the top. This is a solution in search of a problem. All the studies, all the audits, all the reports show voter fraud is exceedingly, exceedingly rare. But there's a couple things we know about the administration. Number one, they don't like dissent. They don't like people disagreeing with them. Number two, they don't like accountability. That's why they resist congressional oversight so much, whether it's in the halls of Congress, at detention centers, or anywhere else. And third, they don't like people voting against them or against their agenda, and they're setting the stage to try to rig this November's election in so many ways before ballots are even cast.
That was Senator Padilla from out of California, falsely claiming that the Republicans are trying to essentially rig the system to favor an outcome in the November's election, which is completely false, because the Democrats, they're the ones to display a history of essentially creating certain policies to incentivize people to vote that are not supposed to be voting. And I have the proof. We're going to show you some videos of some folks in California where Senator Padilla is from, where essentially you have people going around having them signing up to vote, which in my opinion should be challenged legally. Because in my opinion, I think it's blatant fraud when it comes to the elections. And here we have another Democrat that was asked about this, the Save America Act, and then he got completely destroyed because he tried to use these silly talking points and he got shut down. And this is Ro Khanna from out of California.
What's the problem with the Save America Act? Why do Democrats push back on the idea that you have to prove citizenship to vote? What's the problem? Are there just too many illegals in this country voting?
It's not an issue that you have undocumented people in mass numbers voting. You know that, Maria. The data doesn't show that. And the challenge is the way
elections, excuse me one second. Elections have been lost just by 1,000 votes. 500 votes here, 1,000. So when you say, oh, there aren't large numbers of illegals voting, there shouldn't be any illegals voting. It's against the law. Elections
agree.
have been lost by a couple of votes. So just to say, oh, it's not a lot, that's not an answer, sir.
I completely agree with the host, Maria Bartiromo. I think that is how you say her name. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names. But I completely agree, because sometimes elections comes down to just a few hundred votes. One of the most recent elections that I can think about is the 2000 election between Gore and Bush, and it came down to 500 votes. Just 500 votes. And the Democrats, they're saying, well, illegal immigrants or non-citizens, they might be voting, but it is such a minute issue, we shouldn't worry about it at all, which is just insane. And that voter fraud is such a small issue, we shouldn't worry about it at all. If it's such a small issue, why not pass the Save America Act? That is the question. What are you afraid of? And the reason why the Democrats are afraid is because of reasons like what's going on in California. Because what's being alleged to be happening in California is that you have folks that are going around, these NGOs going around asking homeless folks to sign up in order to vote. And they're asking them to sign up multiple times per year. And then what they're doing is being alleged that they're paying these individuals in order to vote for specific candidates.
So what, the voter fraud?
Right across the street from where we do outreach at.
What were they doing over there?
We're giving people $4 or $5 to sign up for Mayor Bass.
Oh, for voting?
Yeah.
Wow, right there?
Yep.
Man, while all these people are waiting,
Yep.
they're doing voter fraud.
Are you registered to vote?
Not today.
Are you registered to vote?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So sometimes people come by and ask you if you're registered?
Yeah.
And how much money do you get paid to register to vote? $25. And how many times can you register to vote?
I say about 5 times a year.
Who'd you vote for?
Oh, the lady. The one who,
Karen Bass, Nithya.
well, yeah, I don't know, all the.
The Save America Act needs to be passed because at the end of the day, what that will do, it will essentially limit mail-in ballots to people who actually need it. And that brings us to the end of this video. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.